Welcome to the session. Shall we begin? So we had just started a new section, the section on love. Yes. Uh, so let's just although we had done the heading and so on, let's just quickly talk about it again. The first thing is the reminder that this book is all these golden lotus sutras. Where the word sutra means tightly packed knowledge, and it requires an effort by us, and that is why I think Master has given us these books. This is to help us develop our mental abilities, our mental bodies, to force us into mental industriousness. So we need to read them and then think about them, contemplate, try to understand them from different perspectives at different levels. That is our effort. So the section, love is the food that makes your soul grow. So, like food is required for the body to grow. Similarly, what Master is telling us is that love is necessary for the growth of the soul. Without love, also you are living. It's not like you are not living, but like in Hindi, they say कि ये जीना भी कोई जीना है. I mean, is a life without love worth living? Yeah. All right. Let's move forward. To love is to provide. So we had discussed this the last time. One of the aspects or one of the necessary aspects of love, to love someone, is to uh, is to is to provide for, to nurture, to provide, nurture, to nourish other people, the other person who we are loving, the subject of our love. We have to provide for, nourish. So that's what the job of the parents is. For example, the child cannot provide on his own, his or her own. So that is the job of the parents. So, and even in say a husband-wife relationship or a sibling relationship or anybody that you love, it could be a friend. And To love means it means to provide. And the Indian, I had reminded you the last time, let me remind you again of the Indian symbol or the Indian, deity, Vishnu and Lakshmi, where we say that Lakshmi is the material form of providence. Lakshmi ji is the angel or the goddess who takes care of our physical needs, our material needs, and Vishnu ji then is the non-material aspect of provision. Providing for us. He is the spiritual aspect. So Master tells us that the avatars, they come from the love aspect of God, which means the Vishnu aspect of the Supreme God or the planetary God. Why sometimes one has to think, why are avatars required? Because unfortunately, the human race has a tendency to, lose the plot, to forget why are we born, to forget what is the purpose of life. So to go against the divine plan, and then it ends up as self-destructive behavior. If you go through human history, it is repeatedly there are cycles where the human race is on the brink of self-destruction. So that is when the avatars need to come and say, teach. And one of the biggest things they teach, all avatars, they will teach about love. That is something common to the teachings of all the avatars. All right, let's now move on. Sutra number 2. We are on page 49. Real love makes you see things as they are. You have to have love, patience, and tolerance. Where there is love, there will be stillness, and peace. The key phrase here is real love. When you say real love, it means it is love balanced with light, meaning intelligence, and power. Yeah. Later, we will come across a sutra where this is explained even further. Another aspect of real love is that this is love which is without attachment, without likes and dislikes. In the Indian system, we call attachment asakti and likes and dislikes raga, dvesha. attraction and repulsion to things and people and situations and so on. What happens is, due to attachments, raga and dvesha, or likes and dislikes, attractions and repulsions, we tend to see things through filters. We don't see things as they are, but we see them, you know, through colored glasses, different colors of glasses, depending on like, dislike, attachment, and so on. So, for example, it is not uncommon for somebody who has deep love for the other person in a attachment, asakti sort of way, to not accept the other person's weaknesses. For example, your child, your child has gone and broken the, windows of the neighbors. Now the neighbors come to complain, but because of your attachment, you refuse to accept it. You say, no, no, it cannot be my child. He is such a sweet boy. He will never do something like that. So we don't. It is difficult when you are bound by attachments and by attractions and repulsions. It is difficult to see reality. So, real love means that it is balanced with light and with power. It is, it enables you to accept reality and love it as it is. So, my child, has good qualities, not so good qualities, but my child, I love that child. Are you understanding? I will admonish the child. I will discipline the child. I will maybe, even take some strict action. But it is out of love, not out of anger or ego. Yeah. And the other thing that Master is saying is that stillness and peace is very difficult in the absence of love. Again, true love. Why? Because it is then difficult to accept reality. You say, oh, how can this be? Why did it happen to me? Your mind gets stuck in that. So, mental stillness, mental peace becomes very difficult. Another aspect of this that I may suggest to you is that the meditation on twin hearts is a great technique that Master has given us to help us develop this aspect. Yeah? All right, let's move on. By giving a person love, you make them grow. So, this is a reminder of the heading of this section, that love is nurturing, it's like food for the soul, it is nourishing. Like to a plant, you have to provide sunlight and air and water and fertilizer and all that. Similarly, for the soul to develop, love is required. We help people grow when we when we when we love them. Again, a reminder, I think we talked about it several times before. Love is a verb, it is an action, it is something that we do. Love is not a quality, not just a quality, it is not just a state of being. Here when he says giving a person love, so then now essentially it means by loving other people, by that person. So, to the other person, then it makes the other person calm. It makes the person, peaceful. It reduces anxiety. It will also do the same thing to you. Yeah. All right, let's move on. I think I'm talking too much today. The real cause of psychological ailments is insufficient soul contact. Love is therapeutic. So again, when we say love here, we are talking about real love, true love, because that is an aspect of the soul. You are aware the soul has three aspects: light, love, and power. So love aspect. Now, when there is love, when we are not receiving love, when we are not full of love, higher emotion, love is a higher emotion. So if you have done the psychotherapy class, it's related to the heart chakra. And of course, divine love, which is related to the crown chakra. This love enables positive and uplifting thoughts. And that in turn increases our contact with the higher soul. Let's do a simple experiment. It's a very short and simple experiment. Why don't we do that? Can you just quickly sensitize your hands, please? Once your hands are sensitized, just scan your own inner aura. Scan your inner aura. Okay, scan your spiritual cord. Scan your heart chakra. Okay, now think of something you really hate. Okay, if you don't, also think of something that you could possibly hate and project hatred for a minute. Just do it for a minute, please. It's an experiment. Just please follow me. Let's see the effect, because once you do these sort of experiments, the message, the learning that what master is trying to tell us will become more ingrained. करके देखिए, please try that. So think of something and project hatred. All right. Now just check again. What happens to your inner aura? In my case, it seems to have come down by half. What happens to your spiritual cord? What happens to your heart chakra? Yes, did you notice the difference? Just 1 minute of projecting hatred. Okay, think of something else. Let's erase that thought form. Let's think of something or somebody that we love. Just think loving thoughts. I love you. I love you. You're from the bottom of my heart. I send you loving energy. I love you. I deeply, fully, completely, thoroughly love you. Maybe your child, maybe your spouse, maybe your brother, sister, parent, whatever, whoever. I love you. I love you. I love you. Mwah. Okay, shall we repeat the experiment? Scan the inner aura. Has it grown again? Scan the spiritual cord. What else did we scan? Yeah, the heart chakra. Yes, would you like to? It's nice to hear from you. Would you like to either say or type? What I found is that when I projected hatred, my inner aura shrunk, my spiritual cord shrunk, my heart chakra shrunk, and when I projected love, it became, it increased again. Now just think, the sutra we are talking about here, the sutra that we are talking about here, it says the real cause of psychological ailments is insufficient soul contact. Now, psychological ailments, of course, related to the heart chakra, but even physical ailments, you will see if your inner aura tends to be shrunk because you are, in a negative mental state all the time. There is a shortage of love. There is more hatred. What is likely to happen to your health, even your physical health? Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Shall we move on? When there is a lot of love, the rate of vibration increases. Now, for this, we can also depend on clairvoyance. And, in the theosophy literature, you will find a lot of testimonials by clairvoyants who have verified this, that when there is a lot of love, Master, of course, himself a great clairvoyant. So, this is verified. And what the result of the increased rate of vibration is that our health and immunity is better. If we do have an illness, we recover from it much faster. It is recommended, if you have read Master's healing books thoroughly, if you increase the rate of vibration of the affected part or of the entire aura, then the person will heal much, much faster. Do we have any clairvoyant in India? Yes, there are. I'm sure in your region there must be some clairvoyants. All right, let's move on. Too much will without love creates ruthlessness. Too much love without will, nothing happens. Let's read the next sutra also. Love without intelligence will manifest as being fooled a lot of times. You need intelligence, love, and will combined. So I think we know this, the soul, there are these three aspects, the light, love, and power aspects, and we need to develop all of them, and preferably in a balanced way. And the way Master has given us the practices, they will get balanced. Especially if you're on the arhatic path, you are aware of this, that all these, through the virtues in our character development practice, in the meditations and so on, we are balancing, trying to balance them out. And Master talks about being fooled. Yeah, fooled because if you are too much in love, you become blinded by love, you tend to trust people blindly. So all three qualities are required. They need to be in balance. And Master often gives us the symbol. I remember in his sessions, he used to talk about Lord Dattatreya. Dattatreya. I hope you've heard the word. Otherwise, just make a note of it and look it up. He's a person or a figure who has three heads, who's shown with three heads. But really, the way Master explained is that these three heads are the three aspects. And why he's shown with three heads? Because they are balanced. They are in balance, which is really the goal or the ideal for us. Real love makes a person see things clearly and accurately. So we talked about it in the earlier sutra, the sutra, second sutra from the top. Real love. Again, the key is real love. So no attachment, asakti or raga, dvesha, this is page number 49. Sorry, where were we? Yeah, so real love means it is devoid of attachment, of attraction, repulsion. There are no filters. There is a equal amount of light and power. So there is no blindness caused by love. The love is not extreme or it is not unbalanced. It is balanced by light and power. So we are able to see reality in totality or in, objectively. Otherwise, what can happen is that very easily love can have a blinding effect. We love somebody so much that we refuse to see or accept any negatives or any weaknesses or any wrongdoings of that person. Page 49. Oh. All right. So true love means to see and accept totality, reality in totality with objectiveness and no compromises on discipline, order, etc. Next page. By loving deeply, you become one with your beloved and one with all. Now, this is a very profound and a very deep and a very somewhat mystical statement. Yeah. Here, Master is talking about when you love very deeply, you become one with your beloved. So, first, let's talk about that. In the basic pranic healing book, there is this image. Let me just show you. I hope you remember this. There is the image of the loving couple who are doing meditation on twin hearts. No, sorry. Do you remember this? The title here is Inner and Outer Auras of a Loving Couple. Can you see how their auras are getting fused? Yeah. So, I mean, it's not just a way of saying. It is not just a term. It's not just poetic language. The fact is that when we love somebody very deeply, when we are fully committed to that person, again, true love. But very deep true love. Then the auras tend to fuse together. In India, there is that concept of ardhangini. Ardhangini means, somebody who shares organs. Now, of course, it's not the physical body, but the energy body can fuse. Now, this again implies that, Master uses the word may. If the love is selfish, or if it is just lust, or if it is, full of asakti, rag, dvesh, the attachment and likes and dislikes, then it may not work. But it has to be true love. And because true love means that it is first of all very deep and it is balanced. So it enables the consciousness to rise to the buddhic plane. If you are not familiar with the Buddhic plane, you'll have to study in theosophy, but it's the higher plane of consciousness after the higher mental plane. Now, at that plane, and this is where our soul resides, the there is a direct perception of the oneness with all. Once your consciousness goes there, you are able to actually experience oneness with all. So being in true love is, in that respect, it has a spiritual enabling effect. Deep true love, even with one person, enables you to do that. So that, I think, is something to think about. Please contemplate, and I hope you are able to peel away the different layers of this super teaching by Master Chua. So I think we will end here.